Ladies and gentlemen, it is the final full week of the year. As of right now, futures have gapped up quite a bit. There was also a rollover, so I don't know if that's what's taking place. That should have actually happened last week as far as futures go. But looking at it now, right now, the S&P gapping up. Let's go in the normal order. We're going to go to the dollar, then U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, Bitcoin. Let's check out XRP, and then the S&P, the NASDAQ, the Grandpa Dow, and then the Russell, and then we'll turn to some other tickers and just check some things out where I think we're at. Long story short, I know last week there was that red day, and we kind of hung out, went green. And like I said, the only thing that was concerning about the red candle last week was how red it was and the amount of time it was, but it was still actually considered a dip buy on many levels, and right now we are seeing that, so I think we're good to go. All right, dollar for the open up right now is nothing, just kind of hardly even down. The U.S. dollar, Japanese yen, it actually, if you're long, this would probably be maybe even a spot to add on. You depending on how you're looking at it, you don't want Friday's lows breaking, or if you're going to continue to trail the daily trend, your stop's probably still below here, unless today is green. Then you would move this up tomorrow. For those playing the zone, that would be a short entry for that. Man, I kind of want to short it. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Anyway, looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin pulled back all the way to this yellow zone and hung out for a little bit. We bounced down here, dropped all the way down, bounced back up. So we played a little bit of the zone to zone action. So if you do watch these yellow boxes, then you watch that happen. Right now, I probably would expect a bounce right here if we did get to this zone. I would question how many buyers are still there, though. If we hit that and we don't bounce, that's when you see more than likely the continuation south and headed down there. And I do want to talk about this because the growth account it has Bitcoin itself, it has BITO, and it also has Mara. So as far as Bitcoin exposure goes, there's actually quite a bit there. Now, that was all by design. Everything has its own purpose. Mara, getting into the data centers, really, I like their last earnings. They're a Bitcoin miner. They're not selling Bitcoin anymore to pay the bills. It costs them about $46,000 to mine a Bitcoin, which is right now almost doubling their money. And then we had BITO, which is a Bitcoin futures ETF, but it paid a pretty awesome dividend. The last couple of months, I think, have been 99 cents a share. So let's check that. We've had it for a while, so we collected 99 cents. There's actually two dividends this month. Another 99 cents. October was $1.09. September was $1.20 per share. August was $1.44. July $1.50. I think that's where we got. I don't know if we got any in June, but June was $1.78. So I wanted that for the monthly dividend to kind of help fund the account. Again, we started this account from zero, and now it's really once we got above that 10K mark, things were starting to roll. But my primary goal when the account is that small is growth, right? So I want to sell covered calls. I want maybe a dividend in there. I do want growth, but growth, you can kill yourself doing the 900 trades up and down. You really can. It's meaningless. You're doing a lot of work. You're gonna make $20. You'll probably just make a lot more swing trading and just grabbing the right ones. So we focused on that, and then also we do have Bitcoin itself. But that being said, not going to sell the Bitcoin. I do think Bitcoin's going to have one more crypto winter. This next crypto winter it has, I think we still have a few months for it. I don't care that it's below 100,000 right now. I think we're going to get meaningfully above the 100K mark. And then in the crypto winter, we're getting back down there, 70, 60, maybe even 50. We'll see. I do think that will be the last winter crypto has that Bitcoin goes under 100K. So in the meantime, not looking to write it all down. BITO's on the chopping block unless Mara wants to race that thing south. Right now, Mara's tried its best, but we're still selling covered calls on it, and the premium there is awesome. So BITO was the dividend. Mara was weekly covered calls, so we're collecting weekly income off of it. And then Bitcoin was just growth. Total exposure, a little bit more than we probably should have in just one particular thing. So for everyone that is following the play, that is my plan next year. Right now, looks like it's going to be BITO that gets it. We make more than the the 90. We have 100 shares of Beto, so the $100 a month that makes in a dividend, we share more. We sell more covered calls for that. So it'll likely be Beto that catches the chop first. But we'll see. Either way, they will both go. We're not going to hold both those on the way down. I'm curious to see how Mara will perform. When things are selling off. I think Mara. There's a long-term play on Mara here. But then there's also the stock market crashes, and this is not really a risk. When it's a risk-off environment, Mara's not staying the course. Okay, you're going to catch things like Amazon, Nvidia, Meta, Microsoft. They will take a less beating while the market is going to excel as far as red candles go. Mara probably not going to participate in that. But we will cross that bridge when we get there. Likely both those will go, and we will buy the dip later. Okay, so yeah, as far as Bitcoin goes, I'm probably not worried as long as I'll make this a little bit brighter, because if we can hold this level, and then especially for the next couple weeks, because this week we have Christmas on Wednesday. The week after that we have New Year's. Stock market is closed, so the next 2 weeks are actually short weeks for the stock market. There's a day closed on both of them. So during that, banks, there's not going to be any huge participation in this. So I don't know if I would expect too much out of anything. Both up or down, I would take with a grain of salt. Bitcoin or XRT for 25? I don't know. What is XRT? A retail ETF. Oh, no. I would not be in this one. Is there a short for this? Is it like an XRT like L? I don't think retail is going to do good next year. I think we're finally going to get that recession, and I would not expect retail to do it. But speaking of the S&P, we got a little bit of a gap up. Let me bring that back over. All right, so we closed right here, gapped up into this blue zone, so you really want to see that continue. This is what we talked about. I went live after this, and I told you guys, like, hey, we could grind down, we could grind up, we could go sideways. What we don't want is to match the energy of this candle, and we didn't. And that's when I said, I told you guys, as long as we don't do that, that's probably a dip buy. Bigger picture, it's just going to be the next higher low. But now what we really want to watch out for is a lower high. And then if we do start putting in a lower high, probably right around there, then I would be a little bit concerned. January is typically a bullish month anyway. So if we continue the course, we're good. I think we're crashing in March. If for some reason we do not break the highs first couple weeks of January, by the third week of January, I'm probably thinking my March is a little bit too far. It might be time to start scooting this thing back. So right now, let's see if we can't get above this zone as far as the S&P goes. If you guys do have my charts, right? So if you're on the Patreon or anything like that, you have all my charts. You can save my layouts. You have every line that I have on here. The expected moves are already done, so you're good to go. And we're pricing in a normal week. As far as the NASDAQ, I always drag that zone. All right. As far as the NASDAQ goes, closed right here on Friday, gapped up into this yellow zone. So let's make sure we don't reject there. What I would like to see is this is what, Thursday's high, Friday's high. What you really want to see is that high get broken, getting above that zone. And then I think we're good for at least January. As of right now, I think January is good. Maybe going into February is bullish. And again, this is just me throwing darts right now. March is when we start the crash. Has nothing to do with the Rona or anything like that. Just get more probably inflation and unemployment reports that are probably going to surprise everybody. Speaking of reports, let's go to economic calendar. There should be zero news this week. Let's see. Durable goods, new home sales, the oil report that's normal, jobless claims. Yeah, so literally nothing should be moving the market. Looking at that 80K level for Bitcoin. 80K down here. I would venture to, it's 76 or 86. The way we just shot up like that on Bitcoin, there could be like an awkward turnaround somewhere here, kind of. But I would say we're probably going to go a little bit lower. What would be a good QQQ ratio? I'm assuming spread. Probably nothing right now. Guys, there's a reason why I'm taking a vacation these next 2 weeks, and it's because the markets aren't going to do anything. I wouldn't expect really anything. It would be a surprise to see us move meaningful in any way or another. And if it does, I wouldn't trust it. Play it as long as it's there, it's happening. But other than that, no, it's time to send it. 357 says, "How about Ethereum?" Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to go through the futures first, and then we'll jump into. So keep your keyboards working. I'll ask for tickers here in a little bit. We'll break everything down. Whether you're on YouTube, TikTok, no matter what YouTube channel you're actually watching, make sure you hit that follow button or subscribe, and then do me a huge solid and share this. Because I think that's what's helping out everything. Looking at Grandpa Dow. Now, it hasn't seen this many red days since 1974, and we put a stop to that. went to that zone, finally gapped above it, so you're good here. I would watch out for this 43.4 area as a resistance level on that. But right now, I'm willing to bet. This is a little premature. You guys have seen me draw these lines before, but I'm willing to bet we're going to spend some time right in this range. These are inside candles, inside this 1 day right here. So this is technically Monday's candle right now. Let's see how we actually handle there. Off to a good start for vacation. Listen, the mentorship, that's the vacation. I have to be live on YouTube. I still have the Discord open. I'm still checking everybody. But I'm trying to keep the YouTube momentum going. So and TikTok. So there won't be a Wednesday stream this week because that is Christmas. Probably not, at least. Maybe there might be. I don't know. Probably a Thursday one. But I will say over this next 2 weeks, I told my chat this. I want zero obligation to go live, but I plan my trade. This is what I do every night. As a full-time trader, I literally sit down at night and I do my trades. Like I look at the charts, I plan things out for the next day, kind of get an idea. I like to do it when the market is closed because nothing's moving. There's no one's cramming news in my face because I know that's going to all be manipulation later. There's a reason why the news happens, like around the market hours, and I don't let that influence my trades. So I do everything while I'm here, and then now honestly, it takes me like 5 minutes to do it, but I really don't mind saying it into a camera for everyone else to pay attention. But for the next 2 weeks, not work days, but short week, there's almost no need. But I'll still do the YouTube thing. Cyber Beast finally caught alive. What's happening, man? All right, Russell got a little excited. Russell's gonna have a hard time breaking above that yellow zone. Man, look at this guy. Forgot his name. What is his name? He said IWM is going to be 300 by the end of the year. Are you guys ready for the most impressive IWM Russell bull run you've ever seen in your life? I always forget this guy's name. He's been in a thumbnail of mine. He says some like quirky things. Tom freaking Lee. Exactly. Tom Lee. So, and he even said, I think he even doubled down on one of his latest interviews. He said, "Yo, yeah, you should be buying this dip like crazy." And I'm going to subscribe. I'm going to call him up and say, what course are you selling? What membership fees do you offer? Because I'm there. If IWM makes it to 300, I got to do it. I got to say, wow, man, you have the insights. And I'm there. It is Cyber Beast's birthday. I know yours is January 4th. Capricorns rule. We do rule. There's a reason. Happy birthday, man. 6 Rain Wick. He says, a big crash incoming, but not now. I'm thinking March. You can tell me when you get. Let me know in the chat right now, guys. When, and there's no wrong answers, right? Because you guys aren't psychic. Now I am, so there's a difference. But like, when do you guys think the next crash is going to happen? He sees that cup and handle on IWM. That's a salad bowl. Okay, there's a huge difference. Kramer 2.0. We got some people on TikTok over here saying happy birthday too. Amir says March. A couple people, Zyra B says March. I'm really curious. If it's next year, say the month. If it's another year, just say the year. Dewey says February. Terry says after the inauguration crash. So we talk January 21st, 22nd. Just send it. Smiley face is what we call it. A rounded bottom. February drop and grind to all-time highs all year. That would be impressive. I don't think we're going to get that. It's not going to be anything like the Rona. Let's pull up the Rona right here, and I don't think it's going to be anything like that where we send it down and then just kind of just go for it. Even if it was a lesser pace, I bet it's going to probably be the opposite. We're going to grind down like that, and then where's 2020 at? Was that right here? Oh, 2022. Sorry. I bet it looks a lot like this. And don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not speaking from any point of power or anything like that. This is just my vote for now. And it's very important you guys understand that I trade for a living. And my opinion could change on the hour, which is why I like talking about things like before it happens. That if I see this, I'm going to do that. So that there's no need for me to just jump all in puts right now or start shorting the market or sell out of everything. It's something I've warned quite a bit. It's also why I don't sell my investment account. Because what if I was wrong? My timing was off. You can miss some very big days. As a trader, doesn't matter. Stocks are always moving. As an investor, you miss just one rip your face off rally. So this is a rip your face off rally right here. Now, I'll really zoom in. So if you're on TikTok, it'll be the only thing you see on your screen. All right. So right here, we're grinded down. This is not even bad as a rally. Rallies happen in sell-offs, right? But we're grinding down. So from January to March, we are just red. And then we absolutely send it. No red candle in sight. Please ignore these two right here. Just send it. Now, if you think, you short the market, you sell your position, you're going to watch these 3 days and think there's no point for me to panic back in. That's just the next lower high. By the time you make the decision to get back in your investment account, it's going to be up here if we're being realistic. And then that just screws you. So there has been a couple people asking me, like, why don't I sell my investments? And that's why. Looking back, oh, man. Guys, I rode Meta down to 90, Bitcoin all the way down. Now, I did buy a lot more at those levels. But looking back, would have been a million times easier to sell at the absolute peak, the peak that I called out, by the way, went short in my trading account, and then bought back in later. There is a reason why I don't do it. You just miss out on one or two of those days, and those are meaningful gains. Because let's just take this graph for example. You're probably not selling right here or going short. You're going to wait because right up until this point right here, just another higher low. TikTok can't see that, but right here. That's just another higher low. By the time you sell, you're right here. So by the time you get back in after all of this, you're back in possibly a little bit higher. So it's important to have a plan regardless. It's why I don't touch your 401k despite one of my biggest, I can't call it a success story, but I called out the crash. Someone in my group closed their 401, called out the bottom. They bought at the bottom. This is of the Rona crash. And their 401k, not the same 401. It's an 802k now. I think it's what the IRS calls it. Absolutely killed it. Still nothing I would ever actually recommend doing. I want to see a relief rally and just stack in short. Yeah. We'll see. Hopefully. So it looks like everybody's kind of on board though. No one in the chat said anything different. I've seen some February, some January, some March, quite a few more Marches. Nobody said anything. Nobody said anything else. Looks like everybody's on board. Great. That means we're wrong. Have a plan? Yeah, right. Don is my plan. Well, I'm going to have one of those. So you're in luck. But anyway, it's important just to know that coming into next year, especially when you're selling calls. For everyone that thinks selling calls is going to be the end all be all, you will still make money on there, but you will make a whole lot less. And there might be weeks, maybe even a month or two, that you don't sell a single call. Now, if you're trading for income, that's important because that's taking some time off for sure. So you still want other avenues of income, and whether it be trades, I'll still be taking trades and everything. All things to consider, though, because you start selling off. Let's say you're in or even the S&P. If you bought right here the S&P, okay, and then the stock's way down here now, you selling calls above your average price is going to be nothing. So at that point, it's not worth it. Or you end up doing something where you come all the way down here, your average price can be 600, and you're gonna start selling the 588s. There's gonna be a relief rally, hopefully not the bottom that comes in, and all of a sudden, the only thing you did was ensure a loss by selling that contract. Um, Spend time with your girls; they grow up too fast. Oh, I am. We're doing it. I'm watching The Knife on DVN. If you get a second, DVN. Let's check that. Ooh, that's a Devon Energy. Uh, I will say I'm bullish energy. That's a weekly zone. If I'm buying this as a dividend ticker, I'm buying some right now. If I'm going to buy 10 shares, I'm buying 5 here and 5 here. This is one of those, like, typically people ask me like, "Hey, what about this ticker?" And if it's a dividend ticker, you often hear me say like a 10 share rollout, and then usually we're like right here in between zones. So I'm gonna grab 2 here just because it's cheap. 3 more right here, 5 more right here. It's kind of how that would pan out because we're already in that zone. We could bounce right here. This is gonna be a decent level to actually hold for this one. Um, I'd be half now, half later. When it does break these zones, I don't buy anything. And guys, I mean it when I say 5 here, 5 here. It could come down right to here, $24 and turn around, and I'll just add more when it breaks this zone up. I just didn't get this. That's how meticulous or just dead set I am when it comes to dividends. And also they're a little bit more lenient as well, as long as you're not just, buying a barrel fire or a dumpster fire for that matter. Execution can be a little more forgiving on those. Let's see, about 1,600 so far. Can you do another 1,600 here? if if I put 1,000 in Bitcoin right now, if it went back to 107, how much would my return be? Listen, I don't want to be mean, but if you can't figure out that math, I would really be cautious at what you're doing in the markets because that's very basic. I'll show you on screen here real quick. If it goes back to 107, maybe you're making like another point because you're going to say, "Well, I'm going to buy XRP or Haktua coin." Put 1,000 in, it goes back to 107 flat. That is 13%. So you have another $130. It'd be $1,130. Um, yeah. Hopefully that wasn't me being mean right there, but I'm dead serious because it's if you guys want to make money in the stock market, you can almost do it with your eyes closed. If you want to keep your money or consistently make money, that's a different story. You need to get better at where not I'm going to buy it right here and hope it goes to 107 because the real question should be I'm going to buy it right here because I think it's going to go to 107, but where am I wrong and where do I get out? So I'm going to buy it at 94,000. You're going to put your $1,000 in, but if it breaks this yellow box, then I'm out. So that's 4%. So we'll call it 3%. You know, so what's that? $300? No, 1,000. 10% is 100. Yeah, so you're $30. So you lose $30 right there. $30 or you make 130, and that's your risk. If you want to get good at this, get good at losing. Get good at losing in the right way. Otherwise, here's everything you just told me. And this is for everybody watching because I've seen this way too many times. You're going to buy right there. It's going to go to 107, and your eyes don't even register anything lower. And what's going to happen is it's going to go lower. You're going to panic and think, do I double down? I can't cut my losses. I don't want to take a loss because like that means anything other than you just want to lose more money. Um, you know, it, it really blows my mind how many people will jump in the stock market. They'll look at the now and then they'll look at the moon. I'm like, hey, how about you look at the cliff you're standing on? If you take one step forward, you're falling off. Colton, yes. But I just haven't found any private companies worth doing it. Let's see. Lisa, hopefully she's watching because the nightly live stream link didn't work. She's just not subscribed, I guess. If you guys want to know when I'm going live, just make sure you're subscribed and then hit that little bell button, and then you'll know. I did not alert the Discord. I did mention it in my last stream that I was going to be doing the YouTube thing, but I thought everyone was subscribed. Kiss Trade says it's just a good long-term hold for now. Sure. Which one? Bitcoin? Let's do Boeing. I saw Boeing get called out. Boeing hitting above this zone. Oh, is Boeing going to have its day? Boeing's been a nice trend up. I called out Boeing a while back, and I kind of wish I would have played it because I even drew this trend line saying now, hey, this zone actually might not be bad. Could be a good one. I did not take in it, so shout out to the person who called out that did because you're just on the gain train now. Staying above this zone, good. And that if I'm buying it now, if I'm trailing it, my stop is 169.45. Needs to stay above that zone. We'll probably play the back and forth game like we did before, probably right here, a decent amount. And if it does, that's just more bullish for me. Hang on, I gotta do Ethereum real quick. That did get asked for earlier. Hopefully he's still here. What a coincidence. What a weird coincidence. If you're on TikTok, don't worry. This is called dumb luck. It's odd. I've had this weird dumb luck for the last 12 years. But anyway, I'm sure you guys have a better indicator. Hit the bright yellow box. If I do make it brighter, it means something. It just means it's going to have a hard time breaking that one. It did. So we hit that, sold right back off. Honestly, right now, if you're looking to catch that knife, if you're trading Ethereum, I would go long. My stop would be 29.85. Breaking this zone, we're probably going to hop right on down to that 25 mark. Can I do XRP after? Sure can. What do the lines going through the candles determine? Is there a ticker that you last saw that on? And I could tell you the lines going through the candles. Are they the just say horizontal lines if they are? Or what color are these lines that you're asking about? And I'll tell you. Because the color does mean something. Ooh, XRP starting to break. Now, as long as if the daily closes below, XRP is probably coming down. So when we have these two red candles, two red lines, the ones like we just drew on Grandpa Dow right here. So that tells me we're likely going to be inside this. And when that breaks and closes, because this was a break, break and close, that's your signal we're going to head that direction. So if this ends up being in a wick, you're good. We end up closing down here. XRP is probably going to drop down to that 143 mark. Don't tell the XRP people I said that because they're going to get, all uppity about it because I spoke it into existence. But, that's my take. I guess it could bounce here at the 186. More than likely, I bet it would come down a little bit further. The color is hazelnut. Vertical. I don't have any vertical lines. Oh, the wicks right here. Oh, okay. We are going back to the basics. Hey, listen, there's actually been quite a few basic questions on TikTok right now. So I'm 1,000% telling you, jump over to my YouTube channel because I've been on YouTube for 7 or 8 years now, and I have a video answering all of that. I'll do it real quick. If you want the slowed down version to actually read it, you're good. Just go to Don Fron Show on YouTube or Don Fron Trading. There, it literally is like trading A to Z in the playlist, and I do specifically answer this. So there's the candle open and close time. So the time down here along the bottom, if we go to the hourly, we'll just focus in on this green candle. If you guys, for everyone else that doesn't know this, get your little pencil notes, little notepads out. Anyway, so from 6 to 7, at 6 o'clock, it actually opened right here. At 7 o'clock, it closed right here. In between 6 and 7, it went as low as here and as high as here. So the candle body, if it's green, opened here, closed above. If it's red, it opened here, closed below. Inside that time frame, right now, these are 1 hour candles, why it says 1H. If we go to 4 hours, then now we're talking from 11 to 3, 11 o'clock, 3 o'clock. In between that, we went as low as here and as high as here. And that goes for 4x. And it doesn't matter the asset class. If you're looking at these red and green candles, that's how you read. These are actually called a Japanese candle. And there will be a world of stuff you guys can find on my YouTube channel that will get you all caught up. Perfect entry types tells you how I play these zones, the colors, what they mean are, everything. So you can just jump right in here. Doesn't matter when you jump in, and you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, what I'm going to be doing when it hits that zone or not. Is this Rismus? No, I don't think so. What stock chart are we looking at? This is XRP. Let's do a. Could I look at? Oh, Litecoin. Ooh, that one coming. Who knows about Litecoin and Naps gear? Anybody? Everyone that's buff right now is probably about to answer. Okay, someone said Litecoin's going to hit 4 digits in this run. Litecoin, man, if there was ever a time I didn't do bad, I had a lot of Litecoin. I sold it. Man, Litecoin was the one. People are like, oh, it's Bitcoin. I'm like, nah, Litecoin. I'm gonna be that guy and just go to the other one. I thought Litecoin was the one because I used to be in. Now I just buy Bitcoin and Ethereum, but it was Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin for the longest time. And then it shot up. I was like, it just wasn't doing anything. So I was like, man, I'll sell it. Napster? No, Naps Gear. I don't know if it's actually still a website. It's actually for anabolic steroids. And they would take Litecoin as payment. It was a steroid joke. Don't do that, by the way. It's illegal. It's a controlled substance. All the things. We know there's sellers right here. No sound detected. I'm quiet and focused for 2 seconds, and TikTok's yelling at me. Hey, there's no sound. People are going to click off. You're not twerking. You're not dancing. What is going on? Is everything okay over there? All right, let's go here. I gotta just keep humming or something, or so TikTok doesn't yell at me. By the way, TikTok's probably not going to go down. That's my guess. If it does, all the same thing is on YouTube. Right now I'm streaming on actually 2 YouTube channels and TikTok. So it's Don Fron, F-R-O-N, Don Fron Show, Don Fron Trading. So you can go see that. If you need to get your fix on. Man, so where are we at? Litecoin probably needs to hold this. If as a trader, my stop would have to be 93.85. Breaks that, I'm out, and I would buy the dip again at probably just shy of 80. Thoughts on the Qs this week? I wouldn't put a lot of weight on it, but I would be bullish. Not a lot of weight. I mean, you have to be bullish in this trend up, but just because Christmas, this week and next week will be the lowest volume weeks there are. The big banks are just not going to be here. So it's going to be the TikTokers. I don't want to say like retail runs the world. I'm sure there's some institutions out here. The big players, not necessarily in here. So not likely that we just shoot up or down in this spot. So whatever you do, I would, for the next couple weeks, I would take it day to day. If I had a plan on Monday, it'd be till probably Wednesday is kind of how far I would give that. Almost to the halfway mark. My goal on TikTok is 10,000. So because it's growing, that's probably the only reason TikTok will get taken down. Tim Tom Sucko. Looks like they already went through the funding rounds. And Anacoin. I've joined late. Have I gone over AMD and Meta? I have not. Let's do it real quick. Meta, I would say, is the dip buy right here. Meta, I would buy. My stop would be 578.85. Just rock that up. Getting above that $600 mark should be rocking and rolling. Right now, just too much of a trend up to not be buying the dip on that. What's a good percentage stop you're using for your recommended stops? How do I word this? I'm trying to get really better at wording things so I don't sound sarcastic, condescending, or talking down to people. But if you use a percentage stop, you're just going to lose in this market. In fact, everyone I've seen do that loses. Everyone I've seen mentor and teach that is flat out a loser, and they're just, they're there for the education money, not really doing anything else. You cannot base a stop off of some random percentage. Or if you are, might as well do 80%. You'll probably be good there. The stops, if you've noticed every one of my stops, so I'll go to one of my yellow zones. There was a wick right below. I go to that, and then I'm a little bit below that. So 579.45. And that's where I'm at. So I put my stop below that because what happened in that time frame is we got that low, but ultimately we held this zone. So if we break that, that means we're going lower. That's why I'll stop out. So I base everything off the chart itself, and not just some number I have in my head. Now, if the real quick math, you want to do the whole thing is you're going to get in here. You're going to stop out right here. Now, that's $5.85 a share. It happens to be 1%. That means absolutely jack right now. $5.85 per share. If I only want to risk $15, I cannot afford 3 shares. I can afford 2 shares, but I cannot afford 3. If my personal risk was $18, $20, I could buy 3 shares of this right now. If it stops, stop. So what? If it sends it, boom, we're going for it. But 100% based off the chart, and then take your entry and where that stop is. How much is it? Like I just did on screen right now, it says 586 per shares. How much you're going to lose, and then what's your comfortable dollar amount risking? How many shares can you fit into that? And that's how you form the trade to the actual chart, and you'll do a whole lot better. If you go just say, I'm going to put a 1% stop, this, I'm telling you right now, is probably the only case that would ever work. In every trade I have ever taken, you go doing like a 1% stop, 99% chance you're going to tag out. Do you have minimal spreads with your broker? With mine, I have to go below the yellow wick and even further out to account for the spread. Oh, you're not in the United States, are you? Yeah. I could tag, like if my stop triggers at 579.45, it would fill at probably 44 cents. Oh, that sucks on that one. I would have to take all that into consideration. So my stop would be down. Now, if I go making my stop way down here, what just happened? I'm taking less shares. That's it. Here to here, my risk stays the same. I'm still risking the $18 if I even can. Let's do the math real quick. Let's put my stop right $25. So if my risk was $25, I could buy 1 share with my stop down here. Versus this, $5, I could buy 5 shares right here. But see how it stays 25 no matter where I put my stop at. Entry, stop out. How much is that? How many shares can you risk? All right, let's go over AMD. AMD's hard not to be buying more right now, as a matter of fact. It needs to get above this zone. AMD is one that I think is actually really cheap, and I don't say that a lot. And now I'm not talking meta. The last two times I came on, and like I'm not allowed to give financial advice, but there's been 2 tickers that people do know. Meta at $90, Tesla at 160, and I was saying like this is cheap. You guys need to be buying this. I'm not allowed to give financial advice, but do it. Like that's basically what I was saying. I'm not at that level with AMD yet, but if you want a stock that I think is a good dip buy and a hold, I'm going to weather this next year's storm with AMD. I'm not letting it go. It is in my trading account, and I'm going to hold it like an investment the next year because I'm going to sell calls against it, and I'm going to keep doing that. And right now, I'm not adding on. For me to add on this, it needs to turn around. We need to just get this ship start headed north. If it does get to some cheaper levels, it'll be too hard to pass up. Like there's just not a world where I'm not buying a lot more AMD at $94. So anyway, we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Still very much right now, I think it's a dip buy. We are technically still trending down. That is a knife catch. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Let's do a couple more before I get out of here. Can't see the top of the screen. You can if you're on YouTube. It's TikTok that can't because it's a very limited window. YouTube can see everything. Same name. I keep it very simple for everybody. H bar. Thank you, Terry. I do appreciate that. Is there a Coinbase? Here we go. H bar. Hedera. I actually hate this pattern. This is a bull flag, bright as day. Can't stand it because it's trending down, and I'm over here like, nah, it's bullish. Lower lows and lower highs usually isn't bullish. This is a bullish pattern. We ran up. Right now, we're just cooling off. There might be some profit taking, and then that's about it. There's just not a lot. There was excitement up, not a lot of excitement to the sell side, which means you're just waiting for that spark to get back up. Now, ultimately, there has been some buyers right here. So I wouldn't want that breaking. So if it gets below that, honestly, my stop would be 0.226. Gets below that, it's probably headed south, and it's going to jump down here to this 15-cent level, 12 to 15 cents. This particular one, I would have to be bullish right now. This would be catching the knife. If you want to wait for the breakout play, you're going to be buying it above. You're going to be buying it at like 0.333. H bar target. Oh, gosh. I'm just looking to sound stupid on this one. I'll tell you what everyone else does. They take the leg in to be the leg out. If you're going to measure the bull flag, that's how they do it. Give me 1 second. Bars pattern. All right, so let's go. Here's your explosive move out. Went to here. 50 cents. If that bull flag were to play out, it'd go to that 50-cent mark. There's a reason why that's not in my course right now. You want to do that on a what I'm going to assume is a crap coin because I have no idea what it is. You're the first person to call it out. This is just a very technical analysis, very basic, hope it pans out kind of play. The timing, the end of the year, if Bitcoin surges and the crap coins do well, it could probably just blow clean past that 50-cent mark. Really depends on where your buyers and sellers are actually sitting at. How I'd get started trading specifically in 2025? Good question. If I were to start in 2025 right now and I'm brand new, I would attack it like I did my growth count in the beginning. How much can I put in there weekly, bi-weekly, monthly? And I would keep that consistent. And I don't know if I would apply it right away. I would start that January. I'd start it right now. There's no need to go to the gym January 1st. Go to the gym right now. Building that number up in your head, to me, crazy. I don't get why people do it. If that's what it takes, whatever. You're 8 days away. Banging. I would start it right there. Now, I've made fun of this because I've laughed at it before because people have put money into a Roth IRA. It doesn't go anywhere because you do have to invest it. You're just opening up a bank account is all you're doing right now. And right now, if I was trading in 2025, that's what I would do. Get that cash flowing in there. Get that steady just drip, the faucet just dripping. Just a little gas station money right now. Once you dip into that account, it's like the dam ruptures. Once you pull money out of your account one time, it becomes okay. So I wouldn't want to do that. So I wouldn't want to put myself at a spot where I needed to do that. I would get the money in there. I could buy the S&P right now all day, every day. I don't really care. I would just keep it going. The only thing I've seen people do is because I've told you guys, you could put your money in here. Instead, if I had a $3,000 savings account, I would clean that savings account out. I would put in a brokerage account, $3,000. I'd buy $3,000 worth of SPY. I've just never seen anybody do that because once they've opened the brokerage account, still kind of out of sight, out of mind. The second they buy a stock, a ticker, an ETF, they apply their money to 3 or 4 letters. It's what this is going to equate to. All of a sudden, they need to be super traders. Like I tell you to buy SPY, delete the app, check that thing in a couple of years. Just keep your money automatically going into it. You'll be happy. it would beat the brakes off of your savings account, no matter what. And everyone hears that, like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then they buy 3 shares of SPY. And I've seen this so many times. Like, it didn't go up enough. What? Like, then you never looked at your savings account, but man, you will watch that SPY chart every day, and something triggers in your brain. SPY, if I were to buy that, I'm buying it lock and key, never selling a single share. Don't care. But keep that drip going in there. And honestly, I'm telling you, this is my personal plan. I do not care because I do think we're going to crash next year. Now, I'm calling the crash out in March. I would still buy Meta now, Nvidia, Tesla. I would still buy all the ones that I have now. And if they go down, I'm not worried about my account balance. I'm worried about how many shares do I have. So if it goes down, oh yeah, I'm going to spend the same amount, but I get more shares now. And 2025 to me would be an accumulation year. If I'm brand new, I would accumulate every share, everything I could, and then I would be plugged into the matrix. If I could just jab an Ethernet cord into the back of my neck because Elon won't install his chip into my head, I would do it, and I would learn everything I could about markets. Now, I go live all the time, so maybe I'm biased myself. Join every one of my streams. Whether you've applied an actual single dollar or not, watch every one of the streams. It kind of keeps you in the know, keeps you how things are moving. Things are going to go up and down, and you're going to start to notice what you won't actually notice surface level. What you're going to start picking up on is characteristics, how things sell off, how things push up, what hype looks like, what panic looks like. You're going to see all of this. And when it comes time to actually jump in and make the moves, it's like you've been in a fight camp and now the bell just rang and you got to fight that opponent. You know everything about his right hook, his uppercut, his footwork, everything. You're going to match it to the T, and he's not going to be able to touch you. And that's what I would do if I was brand new 2025. I for sure would have money in the account, and if I just had to touch something, SPY, I guess I could buy some QQQ. But honestly, buying QQQ for me is kind of pointless. That's the NASDAQ 100. There's 90 tickers in there that I don't need. But if I didn't have to buy a full Tesla share, buy it. Had enough to buy a Meta share, buy it. I would even go in this order because it wouldn't matter to me. Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon. I would move Apple to the bottom. Google, AMD. Gosh. Personally, I like Mara. I don't know if that's something I would tell a beginner because this one's going to come with some swings. So would Tesla, but it's Tesla. You almost can't afford not to be in that. What I would look for is that would be my plan. And I would join my streams. And when I click on Tesla and I say it's at a yellow box, that's the one I'm buying. Like Microsoft's kind of in between. Tesla's coming in hot. That's the deal. I'm grabbing a share of that one. And that's it. We'll stomach this next year. And when we get back on that bull cycle, give it to me. I'm taking the shopping cart out. Which tickers are we buying? I'm going to buy the Alphabet. Then it's completely different. Upstart, yeah. Upstart only if you're following me. And I know that sounds weird because I'm not allowed to give financial advice. Upstart is not a play. I would not die on the Upstart hill. I think Upstart's going to be a flash in the pan. It's going to be a great one, I think. But it's not going to be – I don't know where this one's going to be at in 10 years. Do I think Tesla, Meta, Microsoft, Nvidia, Amazon, Google are going to be here in 10 years? Absolutely. Upstart, if it's not 100%, then I'm not 100%. So I like this one. And if you're watching my streams, you'll probably see me do this. If you're on my Patreon, you'll see how many of these I buy because I'm accumulating this one right now. But if I was brand new and maybe I just joined this stream for the first time and you're not even convinced who I even am, then that's the attack I would go. And then Doge. Hang on, let's break down these tickers real quick. MicroStrategy. If this is a dip buy on Bitcoin, I do think so. And looking at MicroStrategy right now, just kind of stay in the course. And when we draw trend lines like this, here, we got a little excited, we come back down. And you'll see this over and over again. We get just far away from a trend line. And if you've ever followed a trader that has like 42,000 indicators, 112 EMAs or SMAs, it's going to look like a stretched out slinky, right? Take a slinky and just stretch it. That's what the EMA is going to look like on this chart. And then we just get it right back down to reality. Optimistically, I would cautiously bullish on MicroStrategy. NU, ooh, I don't know if I would be doing the NU thing. It might be oversold. If I'm buying NU right now, my stop is 960. And that's it. I'm 80 cents a share on this thing, and if it breaks that, I'm out. This is an absolute knife catch. We went from such a good trend up to off the top of a cliff. Sometimes it's a sale and you're looking for a potential higher low. That higher low probably should have been right here. If it was going to be a healthy higher low, people say pullbacks are healthy. It was until about this point. Now we're at the doctors. We're getting IVs, right? We've taken it to the next level. We break this, that thing's getting deserted. So I would be careful with this one. I saw Palantir. I see another question. Palantir, like we talked about, just continues to stay on this trend. Look at that. What a ridiculous. I hate Palantir right now. Absolutely very much love this. Hate it because I want to dip buy. And I do think we're going to get a solid dip buy next year on Palantir. Market crashes. Palantir's not sitting that one out. I'm looking to jump on that one, but that's has nothing to do with the speech I just gave on someone brand new starting in 2025. But there will be a time and place for Palantir. It's just not now. Could you please explain gap fills and why they almost always get filled unless it's an ETF? Because if you look at a gap fill, hopefully this one fills. 85% of them fill. Hopefully this one does, and then this one does, and then this one does, and then we got to fill this gap still. Palantir has to fill this gap still to 775. So let's hope they don't all fill. All right. So getting to a gap, you have to understand what the market in general is. Buy and sell orders. You're like a glorified CPA just looking at receipts. Nothing even shows up on this chart until a transaction has taken place. So right here, there's a bid and ask. Someone bought and someone sold some shares at 41.41. There was not a single seller, not a single one. Someone was out there saying, hey, I'll buy your Palantir at 42. Crickets. 43. Heard an echo. 44. Nothing. 45. Is this even the right stock? Is the stock market even open? 46. Nothing. 47. You're a joke. You're warmer, but no. And then some guy comes out and says, I'll sell you my shares at 47.85. That was the first seller to say, I'll sell you some shares. I'll let go of some of my shares at 47.85. And the guy said, I'll take it. So that was your first transaction. So it ends up being a level that a lot of people will end up watching because there was nothing inside there. And when you're coming back into that, there's likely still nothing inside there. So they'll say there's a gap fill because people are paying attention to this level and they're paying attention to this level. Now, gaps don't always have to fill. It's something a lot of traders will talk about, but it's considered bullish. Let's say we break this. Everyone's going to be talking about the gap fill, but it goes halfway and turns around. That's a failed gap fill, which is extra bullish. It just means their plan didn't work that time, and we just trended up. That's all. It ends up just being a significant level because that's where the next transaction finally happened. That's where the pieces got back onto the board at that point. ETFs don't do that because there's just too many moving pieces, and that's why like tonight there was a gap. If we look at tonight, this is a real gap fill right here. So we closed here and we opened up right here. Maybe we fill a gap, maybe we don't. That's pretty bullish that futures did that. So SPY tomorrow is going to gap up as it sits right now. And then everyone's going to think, oh, it's a SPY gap. But SPY gap down over here. There wasn't a gap in the futures. There wasn't a gap over here. There wasn't a gap over here or here or here. So talking about, when people talk about a gap fill on an ETF, just tells me they don't fully understand how the market works, what an ETF is, or what even a gap fill actually is. And I make fun of it a lot. SPY just happens that there's just not a lot of movement in SPY when it comes to gap fills on particularly. If you were to compare SPY to Tesla, not a lot. So SPY fills a lot of its gaps just because it never really left it in the first place. But anytime I'm talking about a gap, it's what drives the order flow. This is the S&P futures. This is what drives the order flow and the money into the ticker, the ETF, SPY. So this is the real story. This is, I say it all the time, imagine reading the Harry Potter books, but only reading the odd or even pages. You will still know it's a little boy with a lightning on his forehead, and he fights a lizard guy. You'll still get the base of the story, but you're going to miss out on some details. Where if you just got the full story from the beginning, you're on board. You're ready to rock. Coinbase. I do like Coinbase. Hit that zone and bounced. I like it particularly right here for the knife catch. But I do think Coin's going to see some tough time. Coin's not going to sit the next move out. So these next few streams are going to start getting back and forth like that. Like, what time frame are we on? More immediate, bullish. Longer term, you could probably get it cheaper. And I wouldn't let the next 3 days, get me out of something. Lori says, no. Did we talk about the 10-year treasury rates by chance? Oh, no, we did not. Dogecoin, okay. XRP to the moon. Yeah. We've gone over XRP, and that's what I'd be a little bit cautious about. XRP to the moon. If we say it louder, do we speak it into existence? Because right now it's going down. It's selling off. It's red. Christmas colors are green and red, not just red. Somebody tell XRP. All right. I got to do a couple more before I get out of here. Hang on. What was it? It was Doge, CTAS, Hover, CTAS. Did we do Doge? I'll pull it up. Ooh, Cintas. Cintas is getting wrecked. Oh, man. That's probably got some more cooling off to do. I'm sorry. When we were hopping and skipping down, we're just skipping down the sidewalk like just a kids getting out of elementary school. That's a dead cat bounce. That looks more like an entry to go short. Looks like more driven by earnings. This one, I'd be hard pressed to just be buying the dip. Yeah, dead cat bounce. We're a little oversold, and if I was watching a zone, it would be this level right here, as a matter of fact. I wouldn't really even consider it being bullish until we got above this level. Let's see where we're at. Melted right through it. Ultimately held right here. Would not be bullish till it got back above that. If it pulled back and held this, then I could consider going long. I'd put my stop at 175.45. But it would need to pull back and show me like, hey, we're gonna hang out here for a little bit. The buyers are there. Let's see. In the future, whether it's business or personal. Are we talking about? I'm sure hit. I just joined. Oh, yeah. I'm kidding. We've actually gone over H bar as well. So for everyone that's just tuning in, you can go to YouTube and watch this whole thing from the beginning. We've gone over a lot tonight. You just can't rewind here on the talk. What was it? Hover? Okay. HOVR. New horizon. They saw one for a second, but then it was just a new sunset and it came back down. I'm just kidding. I won't do any more jokes. This is a pretty solid zone, though, right there. Right here. Yeah, we're hanging out. Getting above this would be pretty bullish, but it would need to get above first. Above is bullish. If we can get past right there. Yeah, if we can get past that, we're sending it. Needs to get back and close above to see that continuation. Honestly, I can't even stress how speculative this would be. The only cool thing about this is like starting to kind of round out and turn its way up. So the selling has stopped, right? So the selling started to slow down. The selling stopped. Now the buyers started to show back up. And they're starting to turn this up. So if we start getting higher, you start showing up on different scanners, maybe momentum scanners, depending on how far it goes. Popularity goes back up, and maybe some inflows come in. But let's baby steps first. All right, Doge and XLM. And remember, guys, if you guys did want to do the lifetime thing, whether you're on Patreon now or not, Patreon's the monthly. The lifetime, if you get the course now on Teachable, that is lifetime. As long as I'm doing things, you'll be in the Discord. That does go away Christmas. Who just saw the Oracle crawling? Come here real quick. Come on, red or green? They haven't seen you in a while. Get over here. Come here. Actually, I'm not even kidding. You're grounded if you don't come here. I'm going to take your phone away. Hang on. We're going to get the Oracle over here. No, I'm 1,000%. Come here. I'm going to have you look at something real quick. Doge, I would hope, turns around right here. Let's see. Don't roll your chair, Hunter. But hey, for real, come here. Look at this. Just tell me if it's going to be red or green. No, get over here. No, come here and say it in the microphone. No. It doesn't count unless you say it. 2 seconds. You used to do this all the time. Come on. There's hardly anybody here. Come here. Don't make me count to 3. I swear. Give me your phone. Give me your phone or get over here right now. Give me your phone, tablet, and I'm going to take your Xbox. I'll play 10 rounds of Fortnite if you come on here right now. Come on. I'm not asking. I've already. The chat's waiting. Just come here. Don't be shy. Why? Guys, hang on a second. Everyone on YouTube knows exactly who I'm about to bring on. Someone says, not the Xbox. Just come here real quick. Don't be shy. We're wasting time here. We're cooking. Let's go. Why no? Because why? They know who you are. They've seen you. You've talked to them. Since every time you've come on here and told them which way. Yeah, well, they watch your gymnastics meets. They watch everything. Let's go. 1, 2. I'm not kidding. Come here. We're taking way too long. Give me your hand. Okay. Come here. Don't jack around. All right. And get on screen. All right. No, they need to look at you. All right. Now we're looking at the S&P. What are we doing for the rest of the year? Green or red? Don't give them the right answer.
What's the right answer then?
You said it the first time.
Red.
No.
Green. Both.
No, which one is it? Because you said green first and you switched to red. Which one is it? Look at it and be serious.
Green.
Okay, confident in that.
Okay, I'm like green.
They say we miss you. They say it's been a while. Hello, little Oracle. Merry Christmas. You're the Oracle. Yeah. You know how much money people have made listening to you? All right. Okay. They're asking you for one more thing. They want to know about Doge. 100% in your hands. I'm not telling you the answer because I don't know it. Let's go. One more time. Come here. Come on. Right over here. Okay. Now. Sorry, let me get that away so you can see it.
What's the question?
Red or green?
Red.
Well, sorry to the Doge fans out there. Oh, hang on. They don't believe you. Get on the camera. No. Make sure they can see you and say red.
They can see me.
Barely. Okay. James says, I'll cry. Katie says, we're cooked, chat. She lost her touch. I don't know why she's so shy right now. Just had never asked her to do that again. She actually did say green first on Spy and then red when I pulled her over here. Everybody in crypto's cooked. Yeah. It's 100%. Now TikTok doesn't know. It's been a while on YouTube too. If you guys only understood how accurate she has been, I don't know if she's ever actually lost one at all. Oddly enough, I have 3 daughters. I had 2 on stream one time. I said, what's it going to be? First one said red. Second one said green. Next day it was like bright red. Lunchtime turnaround ended green. It was wild. It was funny. When they get older, they become shy. It's okay. All right. I'm going to wrap it up here. Sorry for everybody that's going to be in Doge. Actually, hang on. Slow that real quick. Casey, it was an X ticker. XRM. Was that what it was? I'm going to answer that one because I already promised I would. XLM. Okay. Hang on. Let's do this. So, anybody know how you can short Doge? Ooh, looks like Doge. Honestly, crypto needs to turn around. A lot of them look like this. They had that hype cycle, where they kind of ran in, and it's kind of bleeding out. Like, here's everyone taking profit. This is everyone like, no, it's going to happen again. And now they're just like losing faith, and they're losing faith. I'm going to call it a crap coin, just because I just don't know. That's all. But Bitcoin selling, they're seeing all the big stuff sell off, and so they just start to lose that confidence, and that's what this looks like. We're just losing confidence, and then bit by bit, someone that bought down here still up. Here they doubled their money. Now they're still up, but it's getting smaller and smaller. So it starts to think like, hey, should I just take my profit now? No altcoin season this year. What's my highest conviction play into the end of the year? Nothing. Merry Christmas. I did promise 10 games Fortnite. We have been doing that. I bought a couple of Xboxes, a couple of TVs. I stacked them on top of each other. Got a whole gaming station. Highest conviction play into the end of the year. Hopefully Spy or QQQ. I really don't put a lot of weight onto anything at the end of the year. This is retail's world at this point. Definitely not Doge. If I was gonna do anything, I would just stick to if I had to just put all, like, we're at the casino. I got one play left before we leave. I'm putting my money on green, Spy or QQQ. That'd be it. Do you think we go sub 92K Bitcoin this week? We could do that next 2 hours. Let's check that real quick before we get out of here. I don't. As of right now, I don't think so. I think we could hit that and bounce. I think we'll hit the 92. I bet we bounce. And if there's no conviction, buyers don't show up, then yeah, we're gonna hop on down to 86. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I am gonna wrap it up here. Shout out to everybody. You will see me again, but if I don't see you, then Merry Christmas or Happy Holidays, whichever one doesn't offend you. And be safe on New Year's. Okay, remember, it's amateur hour. No one knows how to drink and drive, and they're still trying. What doesn't make you any money is crashing in an accident. So don't do that. But I'll see you, ladies and gentlemen, later. Have a good one.